Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. If you are new, if you're not new, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marina and I was just trying to live my life this week. I have a lot of finals coming up, a lot of stuff having to do with schools. It's the end of the semester. I've been trying to keep up with school and everything, trying to not get distracted. And then one, normal Thursday, I get a notification saying that the Winx trailer has dropped. The live action adaptation, Netflix original of course, can't forget that, of the Winx show. Basically, I am here to give my thoughts on that and, of the whole, what I think of it in general. I'm gonna try to look at this from an unbiased perspective, because although I did grow up on the Winx, I'm aware that, as these reboots and live actions tend to do, they tend to, change up a few things to make it better for older audiences. I completely understand that, and I'm gonna give my thoughts on that as well, but I'm gonna try to not shit on the show too much because it hasn't even come out yet. This is just my thoughts on the trailer, because I know everyone has a lot of thoughts because Twitter was going on a rampage that day, but as Twitter does, it's what they do. So it dropped on December 10th, Thursday, and I watched it. It's only like about a minute long. It's not even that long to be considered like an actual trailer in my opinion. It didn't really give any info as to what it could be about. So in my head, I thought that it was gonna be along the same plot lines of the original live, the original show, like the original cartoon animated show. But from what I saw in the trailer, it didn't give me that. The trailer was kind of dark. It's dark and dull, and I didn't really know how to feel about that. Then I watched it again and it seemed even darker and duller. So then I was like, okay, so this is the thing. I wanted to see if I missed something. Maybe I missed like a little flash of campy or, some kind of something, but no, I was wrong. So that was my first takeaway, trying to be edgy. As most of these live action adaptations usually do for kids shows, they're just trying to be dark, dull, and edgy. Yes, the fashion. There was none. Look, I grew up on Winx, okay? I love Winx. I love it a lot. And, one thing I really liked most about Winx is the clothes that they would wear, especially Aisha, I loved her outfits. I love Flora's outfits. I'll get into that later. But, a lot of the clothes on the show, they were what made the show what it was. And I didn't really see that in the trailer. From how dull and dark it looked, it kind of looked like The Magicians to me. I don't know if anyone knows that show, The Magicians. I think it was on Showtime or something. It looks exactly like The Magicians, and I don't know how to feel about that because I wasn't a fan of The Magicians, but I'm looking at it from face value, from a 1 minute trailer perspective, so I can't really say how I feel about the show. But yeah, it didn't win me over. And also from the trailer, I noticed that there was no Tecna. And when I looked into it, I read that there's no Flora. So I was like, okay, I'm only seeing one person of color, and it is a dark-skinned actress who is playing Layla, aka Aisha, Precious Mustafa, gorgeous. I know she's gonna kill the role. I don't think I've ever seen her in anything, but I just have a feeling. It's just it's in me. I have a sixth sense with these type of things when it comes to dark-skinned Black actresses. She's gonna kill it. But, other than that, no person of color within the show. So once I got all these things together in my brain after watching the trailer, I was like, okay. I further looked into it. So from what I could tell, the show is described as a coming-of-age story for teenage fairies, and they are trying to find their way through learning how to be a fairy to the best of their abilities at the school Alfea. So I was like, okay, so it's basically like the original show. So what's up with the whole dull, dark, and mysterious, edgy concept thing that they were going with in the trailer. I was very confused because from what I got from Netflix themselves, they are saying that basically it has the same premise except a little bit darker, where they're gonna go on, you know, journeys of, you know, fighting monsters and this and this and that, you know. And I looked more into it and I found out what the original creator of the show had to say, basically saying that it is supposed to be edgier and darker to satisfy the 20-year-olds who still watch Winx Club. Now, I'm not 20. I am not 20, so I can't speak for those 20-year-olds, but I am 18 and I did grow up on Winx, and let me just tell you, for a live action adaptation of my favorite childhood cartoon, this is not what I wanted. This is not what I expected. That's basically all kind of that I really needed to know to understand that, yes, this is what I'm gonna have to deal with. Let me tell you my thoughts on everything I've just told you. So let's get it out of the way, the main obvious one. Flora and Tecna, where are they? They're not in the show, basically whitewashed and gone. Flora was replaced by Terra. They have the same powers, just different names, so that means that an actress that is not Latina, because that is what Flora is, she is portrayed as Latina in the show. So since they don't go by the same name, the actress is white. I have no problem with the actress, you know, I'm sure she's gonna do great in the role, but what's up with the whitewashing of characters? I've actually expected nothing less, because this is what Netflix does every time. They love to just whitewash people of color in their shows, so I expected nothing less. But then I saw that Tecna was nowhere to be seen, basically written off of the show, and I got mad because she was one of my favorites, and I was like, oh, okay, that kind of hurt, just a little bit. Yeah, it's getting a little weird. I don't know why, because with Netflix, it's like we always take one step forward and then one step back when it comes to representation in their shows. Like, I don't know if they thought putting a dark-skinned actress in their show was gonna make us glance over and not even notice the fact that Flora and Tecna are gone. Oh, and Musa, where's Musa? Was she written off the show too? I didn't really look that much into that, because Musa is Asian and she's nowhere to be seen from what I could tell. Nowhere to be seen. I don't know what that's about. I would like that to be fixed immediately. And so you lost your Latina representation, your Asian representation, but that's okay because you have a dark-skinned actress playing Aisha. I'm guessing that's their mindset with it, and if that's their mindset, I'm gonna have to say that's kind of messed up. It's kind of a little messed up, and I don't like it. It makes me not even want to watch the show. Netflix really, I don't think they realize what they're doing half the time, because every time they put out a show with little to no representation, people ask them for representation. You know, that's what their whole performative, you know, shit was back in the summer when they gave us all these black shows. They're just like, oh my God, black representation matters. And then like you see all of their original shows with just, you know, actresses and actors that passed the paper bag test. Yes, we got a win, but at what cost? At what cost? The one thing people liked about Winx was the diversity in the show. That's what most people really liked about it. And now it's just mostly white girls. And then, you know, of course, the one black friend / person of color. It's nothing new. Same old shit. Nothing new. Nothing ever changes with Netflix. I have to move on or else I'm gonna get really irritated, like more irritated. Back to the fashion. I'm kind of tired of Netflix making these shows look like they're in some like ambiguous time period, and you know, the fashion, they don't look like teenagers half the time. Like, this is a constant pattern within Netflix. They always do this, and I just want to ask why. Because again, in Winx, they were fashionable. They were executing 2000s fashion looks, but in this show, they look like old women. They look like, I'm not even gonna say mom clothes because that's insulting to mothers. It makes me angry. Like, looking at their clothes throughout the show makes me angry. I don't think you guys understand. I literally had to stop the trailer the first time I watched it and pause to look at all the outfits and I just stood there in silence. They aren't dressed like teenagers. You could have at least dressed them like teenagers, you know, from 2020, like actual like teenagers. Why are they dressed like pilgrims? I don't understand. And then there's the one girl in the purple. I don't know what's going on. Please help me. Literally the one part, like there was so much about Winx that people liked, and it was mainly the representation and the fashion. How do you, when you take that away, then what is it? Of course you have these characters with the same names as the original and probably the same plots and stuff as the original, but then like you're missing the whole point. Which moves me on to my next point. I don't see the point of making a kids show about fairies in a magical universe so dark and edgy. I don't understand why they couldn't just stick to the original and respect the original if they were going to do a live action adaptation. I've noticed this is a pattern within, you know, modern TV shows nowadays, just coming out, just reboots and remakes, because we're just stuck with nothing original nowadays. But instead of sticking to the classics and, you know, respecting the classics, these like networks and Netflix in general, like they just choose to make everything so dark, and it's like just for older audiences. But I think they don't realize that the older audiences are fine with keeping stuff the way it is. Even if you're going to go into more mature content, fine, but then just make the characters a little older then, or, you know, make the show look at least a little reminiscent to the original. Why is everything so dark and dull? I'm gonna say it until like someone hears me, until Netflix can hear me screaming from the rooftops. Winx is bright and campy and, you know, fashionable, kind of witty here and there. I don't think I even saw anyone laugh in the show. I don't think no one laughed in the trailer. I feel like when these networks are remaking and rebooting shows, they only do it for the nostalgia factor and not to actually stay true to the original work. And it's making me angry because it's like watching that trailer, I felt nothing but anger and confusion. Nothing about that show screamed Winx other than the title and, you know, fairies. But that's about it. It's probably too late to like change it up since, you know, it's coming out in January. So I have no choice. I'm gonna watch it, but probably not with a smile on my face. It's possible to modernize a show and respect the original work while also making it into your own. I don't think they realize that, and I think that's the problem. It is what it is, but yeah, those are my feelings. I don't mean to be angry. I'm sure the actresses and actors involved are, well, no. I hope the actresses and the actors involved are gonna do a good job. I can only hope for the best. Netflix originals are either hit or miss, and most of the time lately they're usually misses, but I will keep a lookout for it. I will be watching the show if you guys want me to review it. I guess I will. I guess I will, but yeah, it's not looking too good. Netflix is on my hit list, literally. Like I can't deal with them anymore. It's repetitive at this point. Whitewashing all your characters to the point where there's only one black friend. Not staying true to original work. The ambiguous time periods. I just hate waking up one morning to see my childhood kind of ruined. Sick and twisted, but you know, that's what Netflix does. They just don't care. But I don't know. Maybe that's just my thoughts, you know. I'm sure some people are gonna like it. Some people probably do like it from the trailer. Tell me your thoughts, let me know. But that's the end of my video. If you enjoyed this, thank you. If you'd like to follow me on social media to hear me rant about this show, because it's all I've been doing as of the past, like, what, 4 days? Here it is. And yeah, I'm mostly active on Twitter, but if you'd like to follow me on all of my other social media, it'd be nice. It'll be linked in the description below. Bye, everyone. Bye.